And here we have the Sony PSP, which stands for PlayStation Portable. And for those of you that have been a subscriber of mine from the early beginning, you would recognize this device because yes, this is my 3000 series of the PSP. Now, for those of you that don't know, the original PSP was dubbed the PSP Fat, which is literally the 1000 series, and that's because that device, because it was the initial debut, it was a lot thicker and more chunkier and heavier, but it was still comfortable. Then in the 2000 series, that's what brought out the PSP Slim, which was much smaller. Well, not smaller, but much thinner. Obviously, because it's called Slim. And as you can see, this is my PSP 3000, which is literally dead center in the middle between the Fat and the Slim. So this is like just right, kind of like a Goldilocks type of deal. But anyway, this handheld is fucking awesome. Matter of fact, let me get straight to the pros. The shape of this handheld, it fits your hand perfectly because it fits it so naturally, like how you would hold your handheld. Because of the curvatures and the line, it goes in there really through easily, like no problem. It's fruitless. Like as you can see, I can use my pointer finger to take care of the bumper button on both sides, where the placement of your thumb is so natural, where you can go for the direction button or the nub, even on your other thumb that controls the action. I mean, this whole device is all about comfortability. It is awesome. Now, as you can see from this interface, well, this outer face layout, it has a lot of buttons. For example, this PlayStation button. That is literally the home button for the device. And as you can see, next to that, you have the volume button, which pretty much controls the volume level that comes out of these speakers, which is right there. Now, granted, they are small, but they pack a huge punch. When you want that thing at maximum volume, you're going to hear it. That thing is loud. So you want to keep it low or medium, it'll be like, yeah, okay, no problem, I can handle that. But, yeah, just because they're small, don't be intimidated because it packs a punch. Now over here on the other side, that literally controls the visual of the game inside the screen. Meaning that if you want it to be like a full screen, widescreen, or any other diameter of how you want the interface to look on the screen. Here is actually a music icon because guess what? Not only do this PSP play video game, you can also read comics, you can play digital game, you can play physical game. You can even turn it into a radio. You can even watch movies. This thing is like an ultimate handheld entertainment system. And that is awesome. So like I said, it's more like, hearing radio, doing music. You can even have like a file all saved up. Here's the select button. Here's the start button. Over here you'll see that it says power and hold. Now obviously in power, that'll indicate if it's green, that means the battery's good. If it's yellow, that means, hey, might be charging pretty soon. If it's red, that means, hey, the battery's pretty much out of juice, it's dead. Now, for the hold, that controlled by this switch right here. And the reason for that is, say you got to put the game down real quick because you got to go do something, you got to go take care of something. You put it down, you pause the game, you will put it on hold. And what that does is it nullifies the command coming from the directional button, even the action button, to interfere with the actual game. In other words, you don't have to worry about somebody fucking with your game when you're not, around to be available. Then once you come back, just switch it back down, take it off hold, and you can once again control the game layout. Here on the bottom, that is where the charging jack would go to charge your PSP. Over here, this is where you will put your headphones device in, and other sort of like form of jack device like a mic or anything. Say you're playing online, you want to talk, because yes, you can actually play online, and what this switch is for, is to turn on or off your Wi-Fi capability to play online. Up here, this little output is for, like, say you want to charge your PSP via computer, or you can connect this to your PS3 and play your PSP game on the TV via PS3. And it's a really good interface interchangeability, which is awesome. So yeah, and I think they did the same thing with the PS Vita. I could be wrong, but you can correct me. But yeah, that's one of the perks from there. And then of course, this is where you'll keep your memory card. It's so easy to pull out. As you saw, I just did it with one hand and one finger. That's where it would go, and then you can close it up. I mean, the whole layout is just beautifully done, and it always comes in different colors, but I always like it in black. So yeah, another reason. Now this one I am a huge fan of. The fact that you can open up this tray and it will allow you to play UMD disc games. In other words, all PSP games were disc based, which I love for the simple fact that everybody knows when it comes to handheld device, they're always cartridge based. No matter what it was, this broke the mold. This made this more advanced. The fact that you can have the ability to play disc games, which is awesome, and I fucking love it. I kind of feel that's what the PS Vita should have continued with, but it became cartridge based, which I think is, them, taking 2 steps back. But seriously though, this whole thing is just like a technology that was ahead of its time, pretty much. Now, the cons. As you can see, just like any other open exposed outer face, yeah, you're going to have to get a screen protector because any forms of scratch, smudges, or crack, yeah, you're pretty much SOL. Another con would be that obviously you need some form of protection because there's not that much. I mean, even here, you would put like a keychain on there. I don't know why, because it could easily fall. If it falls, breaks, and remember, this is not waterproof. None of these devices are waterproof. If this hit water, you're pretty much really SOL. Another thing, this back tray, even though this is an awesome feature, there have been cases where people have broke this tray and even the stem, but it is replaceable and it's an easy fix. And also, the same thing with if it being dropped in water. I've read that some people managed to still get their PSP functioning even though it was in the water, which is surprising. Now, for the con. The major con is the fact that Sony, and this is where I'm disappointed in them, they did not stand behind their product. You have this made, and you don't market and stand by it, that makes zero fucking sense. So, because of that, this caused a slew of problems for the PSP and pretty much for Sony when it comes to handheld devices, because Sony don't market the fact that, hey, this PSP can play both physical copies and digital copies. Instead, what they decided to do is create PSP Go, which makes no sense because literally PSP stands for PlayStation Portable. That means you can go anywhere with it. What was the point of the PSP Go? Oh, because you can play digital game? You already got the device that does that. It makes no damn sense. Even Sony themselves, they made commercials where they pretty much point out the fact that, yeah, one of their major flaws is that they don't market their product. That's not something to make fun of. That's not something you should be laughing about. That shit needs to be taken seriously. So that's where I'm disappointed in Sony. You create this amazing product. Even a PSP Vita, this is why the PSP Vita is ridiculously overpriced, because of the failed success, how the PSP Go went. They put so much money into that, and because it became a big giant failure, it made a huge impact on the PSP Vita, where they uppriced the device, and the memory card was ridiculously overpriced, just to compensate of the money that they lost into the PSP Go, which I have to say, that's your fucking fault. You should have been marketing and standing by this product, and everything would have been fine. I seriously want a PSP Vita, but I can't because it's overpriced. So hopefully one day I'll definitely get it. I do have a PlayStation TV which plays a PS Vita game, but I prefer the handheld. But other than that, that's about it. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. Matter of fact, I want you guys to make video responses. Let me see what your favorite handheld or handhelds that you actually own and do your pros and cons about them. So, yeah, and you can send the link at the bottom of the comment section. I'll definitely check them out. Not going to hurt. It's, just have fun with it. Also, I want to promote other channels because I'm actually really happy because the simple fact that I have over 80 subscribers, And you guys probably don't understand how much that make me feel, because when I first started doing this whole YouTube thing and I got just 1 subscriber, I was like over the moon. I was like really, really ecstatic. I was happy. I was pumped. And that was because I gained 1 subscriber. But the fact that I have over 80, you guys have no idea. I mean, just seriously, thank you. And hopefully if I get like 100 or more, I'll do a Q&A video where you guys can ask me questions. But, like I said, I want to spread the love, and I'm going to aim it to Lena Fickle. Definitely check that channel out. Spread some love. Again, thank you.